Now, we will be headed over to a hybrid map for our next map, and it will be Aton Ra's choice, given that they did lose this last match. However, since this is a best of 3, Gravitas only needs to win one more round to take the entire set. We will be headed over to Eichenwald, one of my favorite maps personally, Man of Class. Do you like this map?
I love Eichenwald. There's like the hybrid maps always have this weird thing where everyone always wants to play King's Row. And it's not like I don't like King's Row. It's a very nice map. But I personally am much more of a fan of more versatile maps. Things like Eichenwald, for instance, but also Numbani. We haven't seen Numbani yet. At least I haven't seen Numbani yet in the tournament. Maybe people have played it, but I just wasn't there. But yeah, Eichenwald's really a fun one as well. It's currently in the open division map pool, so I'm definitely doing a lot of Eichenwald these days.
Yes.
And there's actually a lot of fun strats you can pull out in a new patch. So maybe they've actually found some of those. What I really want to see is some Orisa, because we haven't seen that much Orisa today, and I kind of want to see some teams do it. Because there is actually potential for some sort of bunker setup here.
Yes, I completely agree. And another reason why Orisa is such a viable choice right now is in the recent patches, in the patch notes, we've seen a lot of changes to a variety of heroes, and Orisa has had an extremely important buff. She now has, I believe, a 20% increase in movement speed, even when she's firing. And movement speed is one of the most important aspects of a hero in terms of their viability. So with Orisa being able to have more rotations, that gives an offense or a defense a lot more flexibility with their main tank pick. So I believe that we'll finally be seeing a little bit more of everyone's favorite Omnic tank and not just Winston or Reinhardt.
Of course, it's more important to have a lot of sustain when you're on a bunker composition like that. That might be why we don't see as much Orisa just now, because we're waiting for Baptiste to be available for play. But still, without the Baptiste, you can do a lot with Orisa. So maybe these teams already start experimenting with it. What I definitely want to see on this map is more Pharah play, because if there's one map where Pharah is always good, it's Eichenwald, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. There's just so many opportunities, not only for sneaky backcaps that have never happened to me, of course not. But also Pharah just has a lot of aerial space on Eichenwald. It is most of the way outside. She has so much freedom, and there's a bit of coverage given the roofs and the different structures within the city of Eichenwald. So she's not necessarily going to be taken out by, say, a Widowmaker right away.
Now there's one rollout strategy on attack. I believe it's been patched out, so you can't do it anymore. But it used to be shortly a thing. I don't know if you've seen it with the Mei and the Symmetra.
Oh gosh, I don't think I've seen that. Tell me about it.
Okay, so when you walk out the door on attack for the first point, you have this building in front of you, underneath which is a mega health pack. Yeah. Normally a Pharah can just fly on top of it and just look down onto the objective. You could apparently put down a wall on top of that building. On top of that wall, you put a teleporter, and then you speed your team through the teleporter over the cliff.
Oh my gosh.
It's an amazing rollout strat. I believe they've patched it out. If that was the thing, I would have loved to see it, but I don't think these teams might have heard of it, because it was a pretty situational one. But it's
you never know.
You never know. I mean, you never know with the Maiden and Symmetra anyways. I mean, they could be very good picks, especially with this choke here. So yes. It's something that has been very popular at times. Not so much anymore since they added this door on the side, though. I think that pesky door really is stumping a lot of Mei and Symmetra players, unfortunately.
Definitely. I do remember when Symmetra had 6 turrets, and then you would just set up the car wash, and yes. it was the happiest feeling in the world, unless it was happening to you. But no, do I miss those days? Actually, I don't think so. But we will not be seeing a Symmetra, unfortunately, on the defense. Instead, Marzipan will be sticking on that favored Hanzo, with Sam once again playing a Junkrat. Instead of the Orisa, we are going once again for Nick on the Reinhardt. In fact, I do believe this is the exact composition that Aton Ra was favoring during this last map. Oh, excuse me, the sides have switched. Sorry about that. This is Gravitas. Yes, this is Gravitas. I was like, oh, those names aren't right. Gravitas is on the defense right now. Excuse me. So we will be seeing Aton Ra being able to go on this offense first, trying to get a chance for redemption and get to map 3.
Yeah, we see them doing the exact same defense as they just did on Rialto. When the attack, they will now be running almost also exactly the same thing. But there will not be a Widowmaker, there will not be a Mei. The DPS have switched up to this Pharah Doomfist composition. And we saw Transgo XOX having a lot of value from the Doomfist. And like you said, here's this flank around from the Pharah. The Pharah and the Doomfist are together now behind the enemy team on the defense. And yeah, they're already shooting here at Marzipan. Marzipan has spotted Moose, but Transgo XOX now goes in from the side, gets slept immediately and taken out. Eowyn meanwhile tries to do a flank charge, doesn't get the value from it, but now they're fighting on the point, and that's exactly where you want to be if you want to fight against long range heroes.
That was an absolutely perfect sleep coming in from Kuma. Just amazing vigilance from that Ana right now, and it is a short team fight afterwards with all of that damage taken away. Great coordination coming in from Gravitas, and Sam already has a team fight winning ultimate potentially in that Riptire. Now, Transgirl XOX, I do love this switch to the Sombra. I think it can be extremely useful against all of that heavy shielding of Reinhardt. Get a great hack in, and Moose can go crazy on that fire, raining all of these rockets without having a shield to worry about.
And already Moose is in a position where there's not that much contesting her. Does get taken out straight away by Kuma. I mean, as they say, it's always the way. You know, you say something as a caster, and the opposite happens. Caster curse. Yeah, I don't like the word curse. It's definitely something that happens to players a lot when I talk about them. Now we do have them try to go again. Moose, Transgo XOX, another DPS duo now, another on the Sombra and the Mei. But eating chimneys is going over to the Ana now. No more Mercy. Makes sense. If you don't have the Pharah, you don't necessarily need the Mercy for a lot of the times. And now we have an Ashe. They keep switching heroes. Why is that?
So right now, I am happy that they are switching all of these heroes, and what I'd like to mention is that they are switching them early enough. When a composition isn't working, sometimes you just need to start from scratch. Now, what I do like is these teams aren't waiting until they're using an ultimate, or until there's, say, 1 minute left. They have enough time to build these new ultimates with these new hero choices, and there's already a pick onto Sam from Transgirl XOX. This is an opportunity to strike for Aton Ra.
And Moose is just left there, just in the back line, completely being left alive, going through a health back, healing back up, almost actually taking down Nick. Now there's a shatter coming in from Eowyn, not getting the value, and Nick instead gets a much better shatter. Only the follow-up in Hell's Bells though, this is all to play for, but there's the Graviton and the Dragon, and that should probably spell the end of the fight until Eowyn gets a double fire strike. I don't know where to start with the end of these teams. There's no logic in their play. I mean, there is, but there isn't. It's hard to follow this, and they're still just crawling around the point here. 3v3, Kuma, Moose, Nick, and Drasta, Hellspells, each Jimmy's, and now the Mei gets nanoed. There goes the Blizzard out. This will likely actually freeze up a few people, and the Mei with the nano boost does so much damage. Are they actually going to do it this way?
I think they will. Shadow Kitten was able to get a great poop, and now Hellspell gives some a little bit of revenge, but right now they're able to take this first tick at least. Unless, no, I don't think anything can stop Aton Ra right now, and they have built up ultimates for this next team fight. Transgirl will have a great amount of advantage now with that infrared sight on the Widowmaker, and I'm curious to see if there will be any switches on Gravitas. They have had quite a bit of success. That was such a long hold, but yes, we do see Sam is going to take on Transgirl in that Widow v Widow battle. Let's see who's able to come out on top.
Definitely. Well, that infra sight should have the advantage here for Transgo XOX. But I also want to talk about what the rest of the teams have to do, because it's Eichenwald. There's a lot of high ground, but is it actually going to play a role here for these teams?
It will for sure for these Widowmakers. Oh, as Transgirl does eventually take out Sam, but with a lot of the heroes that are being selected for both of these teams, they can't take advantage of the verticality of this map. The Reinhardt, the Zarya, these are just so focused on the on-ground battle, and as these Earth Shatters are showing, for good reason.
And Transgo XOX has gotten 4 kills in this fight, took out both snipers, then the Ana, then the Zarya, and takes out Sam again on that Widowmaker. So, yeah, that was a very, very valuable Widow pick, and that infra sight definitely helped out there. It was good that that they stayed on that. Damn, that was a fight that just ended very quickly.
Yes, Transgirl actually already has another infrared sight available almost for this next fight, and oh, gets a little bit cocky. Marzipan does take Transgirls out for this next fight, but the second point has indeed been taken by Aton Ra. Right now, Gravitas needs to use that Graviton Surge and Dragon Strike combination to really stop the momentum.
They'll have to do so, but they also have to be able to get the opening and actually use it, because they're being pressured very heavily backwards, especially with Transgo XOX now coming in with a Doom Fist, just punching them back even further. They can't get a foothold here. Nick getting punched away. This 4-second cooldown is really proving problematic for them.
Perfectly timed sound barrier. They're coming in, but the Dragon Strike is too much. However, without that sound barrier, too many would have died. And once again, Moose does use this Blizzard, but I do wish that it was saved for this next fight, especially when you do see that the team coming in from Gravitas, even though there is double sniper, there is a huge opportunity to use Blizzard in a way that will deal with those very stuck together Zarya and Reinhardt. We do see Sam, though, switching over to that Junkrat. Maybe a trap will be able to stop Transgirl's momentum.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Moose had a little bit of a Carpe moment, saying it's winnable when it wasn't. It wasn't first, not this time. AOE with a beautiful Shatter, but gets taken down in response. Nyx gets a Shatter out. Doesn't get much value from the Shatter itself, but the follow-up is there, and then the team actually is able to stabilize properly off of that. Taking down 3. Marzipan just actually shooting arrows through everyone's face right now. And yeah, Moose, like K-Pop and Hell's Bells are backing off properly, but Moose just not fast.
So right now, the beam damage overall, which actually includes Mei's primary fire, has been nerfed as a whole, and Mei's wall has also been nerfed, having 500 health. Now it's at 400 health. So I am curious to see why Mei is still continuously being used on the side of Aton Ra. The Transgirl once again swaps over to Ashe. Ashe will have 1 minute to build up that all-powerful Bob for this next team fight.
Oh, Nick completely split it off. This is why I use the Mei. Really, they're proving to you why they're using the Mei. This is aggressively to split off Nick there and really take Nick down. Now they're in the Graviton, then being frozen. Not the follow-up coming there, but then they're still in the same place to get hit by that Blizzard. Andressa actually being smacked out of the Blizzard there, but the Dragon is not going to get much value. Just splitting up the team a little bit is eventually leading to the kill of Eowyn. Yeah, like K-Puck, Hell's Bell's going down as well. But I think they have to regroup a little bit quickly, because with 30 seconds left, you don't want to be staggered too much.
Absolutely not. And Yalak K-Pop does switch over to the D.Va, going to be able to reach that point a lot more quickly, but Moose is staggered from the rest of their team. It's going to have to probably be a trickle in for Aton Ra to be able to touch this point before overtime finishes. Now Eowyn does have an Earth Shatter available, and right now Nick is going to have to be responsible for blocking it. Otherwise, that is a total win condition for Aton Ra.
And Eowyn just trying to smack it out here, and we see Moose coming back with the Soldier. The Tire doesn't get the value because of a Vel-timed sound barrier from Hell's Bells. Eowyn tries to throw out the Shatter, a little bit too late, gets purple, gets taken down, and then Nick is just easy on the counter Shatter and the cleanup there. You like K-Pop, will not be long for this world. And meanwhile, Transgo XOX is fighting Junkrat here in the backline, but yeah, Sam is not the only problem you have to worry about in that situation. This will be the defense here, holding for Andromeda Gravitas.
These point threes are so difficult to get to the very end, especially on Rialto and Eichenwald. It has been difficult in the past to reach that final turn, getting down that final walkway of the castle. So ultimately, extremely impressive plays coming in from Aton Ra to go from struggling to get that first point. Then they switch up their strategy, build up some ultimates, rely on their strengths, and ultimately almost finish the map. Gravitas is going to have to repeat their gameplay from Rialto to be able to compete with that.
Because it wasn't the same defense that they did here. Like, they did the same heroes, but then it wasn't as effective. Because in Rialto, obviously, they had a first point hold, the first checkpoint. This time they didn't. They were getting there. I mean, it was only a minute left before Aton Ra was getting in there, but it was very close. We're going to see what they're going to do on the defense here for Aton Ra. And it looks like they want to set up with the Mei and the Widowmaker again. Transgo XOX really showing up a lot of prowess in that Widowmaker in the end there.
Oh, for sure. And I prefer the Mei on the defense, to be completely frank. Being able to block off that main archway will allow trans girls to have a bit more, I suppose, like shooting monkeys in a barrel, is it? Shooting fish in a barrel? She'll be able to shoot real well. Because most of the team coming in from Gravitas will have to go down these very narrow neckways of the map, as opposed to the larger areas that Moose can block off with that wall, as you were discussing earlier. Now on the offense, we do have Marzipan once again on that Hanzo with Sam on the Junkrat, so it is going to be up to Trans Girl to take out that major threat of Mars Cotton from distance.
I don't know if Sam's going to get the same value from offensive spam if you get from defensive spam. That's always been the thing about defensive heroes or spam heroes. You can shoot into chokes where people are going to walk through. But if you're walking through the choke, it's not as effective. AoE though doesn't care, wants to say, I'm going to charge in here and you can just kill me. And that's exactly what they do. And then Sam takes out Transco XOX somehow because apparently you got too close to the Junkrat. If you get too close to the heat, you're going to get burned. Now, Nick is being frozen, but it doesn't really matter if you get enough healing. Marzipan takes out health bells, and this looks like a very quick point A take for Gravitas here.
Just look at how close all of Gravitas is together, allowing for Kuma to have these very impactful grenades. That has really been... Just look at the ultimate charge for Kuna, already almost at a nano boost as opposed to Eating Chimmies having 60%. That has been the major difference, even though Nick has been very aggressive, which has just been punched by Hal's Bells. Oh, Marzipan does take out Trans Girls in a 1-for-1 pick.
Yeah, Transgirl XOX really was looking very good in that high ground, and she's still going to be able to abuse that properly.
Oh, for sure.
But Marzipan was just very good, just walked in, shot immediately. The right flick is always something's going to be a headshot. That was just a nice one. But now they're holding them very close, which is exactly what they want to do, because they want to have Transgirl on that high ground. Actually switching over to the Doomfist here, wants to just drop down and do things without having to use a cooldown. He's hiding a little bit, but look to drop down quick enough and maybe go for Kuma there.
Yes, Transcurl has been great at disrupting the backline, once again trying to take out these supports, but is slept by Kuma, who's been so on point.
Yeah, Kuma with the flick sleeps is just very effective here. And I think Transgirl XOX might just straight away just want to go back to a different hero, because the Doomfist has not been working out that well when it wasn't on the Rialto defense. Good sonar arrow, look preventively here from Marzipan, showing exactly where they're going to come from. But they're going to come in with this Mei again. A little more open areas, not much wall value, but with this tire coming in, that could actually prove to be enough here.
Yes, the tire does take out the Mei, and right now, Kuma's probably wishing to have that nano boost back, as there are 4 ultimates online for the side of Aton Ra. But will Shadow go? Oh, Shadow Kidding gets a major move!
Oh, into the river for Eowyn there. It's not somewhere you want to be, although the actual Eowyn from Lord of the Rings might want to be there. Yeah, Moose is now coming back with the maze. A lot of stall potential, obviously, and since there's not the full team here for the attackers, that could actually be enough stall. But that Dragon Graph combo, again, Moose the sole survivor here. Eowyn coming back in, but that will likely not be enough to actually stall. You see Eowyn already backing up, thinking, yes, we're just gonna hold them inside here. 5 minutes, that should be enough. We can hold for 5 minutes here.
5 minutes is a long time for Gravitas to try to take this point. Oh no.
Go down. Eowyn needed to be up there. You need to contest as early as possible, because then you might get two defenses. Now you need to wait until the card is almost at the last corner, and that's really where they do not want to start their hold here.
Yes, it's going to be quite difficult, as Transgirl will now be switching over to the Ash, but Moose is taken out on the Reaper.
Yeah, they go in just a little bit too early. The rest of the team is there. They can't all focus Moose, but now they could, because there was no one else attacking yet. You like K-pop, immediately smothered by the hammer of Nick, and Hellspells is trying to get out, using that sound barrier to maybe get the team up, but even Transgirl XOX doesn't get that, even though she was alive there. Hellspells get shattered, Moose gets charged. The tire gets all the value it needs. I don't think Eowyn, even with the nano boost, is going to be able to stall this for long enough.
No, I agree, but the Graviton is coming in.
Oh!
Did you curse it again?
Wow. We gotta stop saying it's over, because it's never over with these two teams. Kuma is in the thick of it. It's actually still alive, almost taking down Transgirl XOX. With the hero play of an Ana, cannot always save the fight as well as Eaton Chimmies could it. Because Eaton Chimmies, even with that Mei, like last time on their attack, just nanoing Moose and then coming back, those nanos have been so clutch.
They've been on point, just as on point as Kuma's sleep darts, but Kuma now will have an opportunity to prove their worth with that nano boost coming up, and Marzipan once again will have that Dragon Strike. Now they'll probably be waiting to see how long it takes for Andress to charge a Graviton Surge, as that will likely be a team fight, almost guaranteed win if they are able to combine ultimates.
Yeah, and they're gonna push forward a little bit now. No longer pressing their S key, actually finding the new key on their keyboard again. It's called the W key. But then again, they have to back up a little bit, because Moose being down. Oh, and they just get picked off straight away, 3 down. I don't know if they're going to have another hero player. Aiden Chimmies does have the nano boost, but this time there is no Reinhardt on the field, and yeah, that contest will not be able to come in again. Gravitas gets the win on Icon Ball, and I believe also in the series for that.
Yes, Gravitas is taking the win 2-0, but this was such a close map during those last moments. Eowyn as that Reinhardt, especially, that aggression was enabled at this final moment. Just look at the nano boost, how much damage is able to be done. Also enabled by You Like K-Pop's perfect Graviton Surge. That was the play of the match, I would even say. That team play coming in from Aton Ra, so both teams have a lot to be proud of.